I don't know. We're not going to talk about Will Smith. I know that. Besides that, I don't know. So take it, Bobby.
Hey, it's the Pat Oates Show with Bobby and Pat that we now call the POS Show because it's not just Pat's show anymore. This is not a great audition. Boy, Dan Brown's probably going to take my spot. Joining us tonight, we've got the hilarious David Hintz and the awesome Alex Tomaselli.
Would you rather be hilarious or awesome as a comic?
I just wanted to let sit. That was
I
great.
know. I didn't. I don't know. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna pretend it wasn't a slight. I don't think it was.
It was alliteration.
We got the hilarious
okay.
hints and fuck off Tomaselli.
Hilarious hits and awesome Alex.
And the other
I
guy.
got it. All right. No, that makes sense.
I took it as how's that guy Alex? He's a good guy.
He's right.
And your host,
he's awesome.
the patriotic Pat Oates. See, I did it to everybody.
Yeah. What the fuck's that mean? Which country? Oh, by the way, at work the other day, we're doing for this month. We're doing a thing for the Nationwide Children's Hospital. You can donate money. A lady looked at me and goes, "Is it Ukrainian children?" It's like, no. She goes, "Then never mind." I'm like,
oh, dude, damn, yeah.
Why would Big Lots be taking money for the Ukrainian Children's Hospital?
Why does she hate sick kids from other places?
Yeah. Ukrainians need it the most.
No, Ukrainian kids are way worse than sick. They're gonna be dead.
Yeah, but what if it's like kids with cancer? They're gonna be dead.
Yeah, but they get cool shit like John Cena and like trips to big monster trucks.
Yeah.
Cancer kids have it so easy.
What a great deal.
They do though. Like, think about it. Like, if you're just like a regular kid, you're always told clean your room. Cancer kid doesn't clean his room. Cancer kid does whatever he wants.
Yeah, it's one way. Yeah, I guess.
Sorry, Mom, I can't pick up the toys. I'm too busy here laying and groaning. And
my bone marrow isn't sitting right with me right now. I can't move.
The poison that they have to give me to heal me is literally killing me. But I'll try to pick up some of those toys so Pat doesn't make jokes about me on his podcast.
And then I'll come in and go, bone marrow is the best part of the steak.
Yeah, Mom, I'll clean up all my hair off the floor that just fell out of my head.
I'll eat those vegetables so I can grow up big and strong. Oh.
It's chemo, not clean mo.
Oh, dude. Oh, goodness.
They do. Out of all the dying kids, they got it the best.
What, cancer kids?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, crack babies, they grow up to be just regular crackheads. You don't get anything for being a crack baby. Like, you don't get to go to special classes or not.
You get super speed.
I mean, you do get to go to special classes.
Not because of the crack.
I did not see that one coming at all. That was a good one.
No, but they do. But they're not. You know why? They don't. No one's like, "You're a crack baby. Fill it out in a form." They're just like, "Whoa, something's wrong with you."
Yeah. I knew a few crack babies, and the only reason I knew them is because the other kids would be like, "You're a fucking crack baby."
That's so much better than I thought that was gonna end. I thought it was.
Yeah, like
I know some crack babies because I've banged their mom. You know.
Yeah, but no one's gonna be like to a cancer kid like, "Shut the fuck up, Derek, you leukemia having motherfucker. I can't wait for you to die."
There always is that one guy, like, you know.
Yeah, and if Derek was a genuine piece of shit, he pushed someone. Yeah, but yeah,
you could tell that was real. Like, you're like, anyway, this guy. But like, no matter what, there's like when in Connecticut comedy years ago, there was that guy, rest in peace, Bob Held. You remember him, Alex? Were you around for him?
I never met him. I thought you were going to say Jay Sweat. I was like, no, don't disrespect that man.
Bob? No, I would, but I'm not allowed to anymore. I did on a podcast before he died. He told me it's the only episode I ever had to pull. Because he's like, "You're going to ruin my reputation." I'm like, of the pediatrician who goes to strip clubs and ruined his marriage?
Oh, my God.
I think I'm fine. Anyway, but no, I worked with Jay for years. He's fine. He's just a bit of a killer, but he's rest in peace. Rest in pediatrician. So this Bob Held was beyond crippled. He would actually on Facebook, he called his name Bob Al Held. So he was Bob.
The new meatless alternative from the Special Olympics, Beyond Paralyzed.
No, but literally on stage, he would joke around. I called him because he had his chair and he couldn't come out of it. I was like, "You're nothing but folded laundry with a head," because that's all he was. Like nothing moved. He was just like clothes, whatever. In his head would go, and he would make jokes about himself. It was dark shit. But he was like very angry too. He fought with Vinny Beetle on Facebook for like a fucking year, and Vinny was the guy who was like, "Fuck you, you stupid crip." So everyone else like, "Do you go there?" I think
Vinny was like, Vinny was like, if you would just get addicted to heroin, then I could use you as a prop act.
You were more mentally ill. Yeah.
Can you bring 5 more wheelchairs to this show? Dave, how have you been?
I'm trying to remember who this goddamn comic was.
Well, he wasn't at open mics. All the ones you went to had stairs.
Oh shit.
Fuck that. That's great.
Oh, Dave, I did all my remember my crippled jokes, the ones I used to do about the guy my mom dated.
Oh yeah.
Well, I used to do those at comics all the time at Mohegan Sun, and there was a sound guy there, Luke, who was awesome, great guy, and he died from a brain aneurysm. He's like 27 years old, out of nowhere, fucking happened at the beginning of COVID. So everyone's like, "Oh, it's COVID." It's like, no, the guy had a brain aneurysm. But anyway, I stopped doing those jokes because he would message me new puns. I would do like 40 puns about my mom's boyfriend Dale who had no legs, and he would message me new puns all the time. Try this, because he just was obsessed with the joke. So I did it for him. So when he died, I just kind of stopped doing it because it made me sad. But the other day, I was at comics like 2 weeks ago, and this guy was being an asshole in the crowd, and he was in a wheelchair. And I go, "Well, I've got something for you." And I pointed up to the booth where a new guy was, and I go, "And the guy who used to be in that booth who died would like this." So everybody got kind of like they thought it was going to be nice, and I just went off with like 30 puns about this guy's legs and saying that he used to work for AAA and he was on Crippleodian, and I used to like fucking stupid jokes. And at the end, he goes, "I'm going to kick your ass." I go, "You can't, because I'm up here."
You can't, because God decided your body shouldn't be allowed to do that.
There was another, I don't know if it was Bob or another, there was another crippled comic who used to do contests. It was one of the two that did a joke, and he was like, someone's like, he goes, "People always say, were you always crippled?" He's like, "I'm not crippled at all. I'm just a big Christopher Reeve fan." The crowd wouldn't laugh. It's like, fuck you, he's making the joke.
Yeah.
You can't be offended for this guy if he can do it. What the fuck?
One of my favorite jokes, it was at an open mic. It was a kid who had young onset Parkinson's. He wasn't even 20, and he had the shakes so bad. And he got up. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna die, but there are upsides. Like, I'm awesome at scratch-off tickets."
Hell yeah.
Sometimes that just comes to me. Like, I just think of that at random times and just bust out laughing. I fucking love that. He's got to be dead by now. Has to be.
My personal favorite's Donovan, aka Crip McWheels.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, he's Crip Daddy. Crip McWheels is our other buddy,
Crip
right?
different guy.
Crip Daddy. He goes, if you get offended by a joke on Twitter, you should kill yourself. And just know that's coming from a guy who legally can euthanize himself.
Dave, were you around for a Freak Show?
Which one was Freak Show?
Freak Show was the guy who had no legs. So he had 2 robot legs, whatever, 2 metal legs. He had one nub with the little like lobster thingy sticking out, and he had one hook like spatula hand. And his real name was Chad, but he'd go on stage. He looked like Ron Jeremy's head, but he had that
yes!
body.
Wow,
Yeah, remember that guy?
I can't believe it took me that long to remember who that guy is.
Yeah, you're like, it sounds like everyone from New Haven. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So he would go on stage, and he was just so angry, which I get.
Oh yeah.
But like, he had one joke where he'd go, "People always say, were you born with a hook for a hand?" And I used to let it go. I'm like, "No, I actually performed my mom's C-section." But his best joke wasn't even a joke. He goes, no one realizes these legs are
He just goes up and goes, "So I still believe in God."
He wasn't that talented, but he's like these legs are expensive, and he's like, people don't realize that, especially when the state gives them to you. And I slept with this fucking crackhead one time, and she stole his leg and tried to pawn it, but there's a VIN number on it, so they gave him a call. They got his leg back.
That's awesome.
That lady rules.
Yeah, agreed.
I like to think there was a story Ben wouldn't tell us last week about something he got into trouble with a crack whore over, and I like to think that's what he was doing, robbing a guy's legs.
He was helping her barter the leg at a pawn shop.
Pat, I'm what's called I'm what's called an intermediary. I transport the goods from place to place.
Yo, Pat, I'm an intermediary.
So, Freak Show's thinking about banging this chick on crack. Like, I could probably get her because she's on crack. And the crack whore is thinking, I'm going to bang this guy because I could probably get his leg.
I've got to exhaust him somehow. Oh, I hope his dick's missing too.
I ain't fucking you with that robot shit on.
Pardon me while I take my leg off. I never thought about that because he takes it off to sleep.
Where you been? I ripped off this Terminator motherfucker.
I like if someone heard this, that one thing they would get out of that Bobby, like, wait, why'd you make her black? That's fucked up.
She wasn't. That's what's even more fucked up.
Yeah, who was worse? Him for like, all right, I'm sleeping with a crackhead, even though I know it's dangerous, or her for like, I gotta get me some sweet leg.
I mean, it's her. Because, like, for him, he's just playing the law of averages. He's like, how many times can life fuck me? 1, 2,
One more,
3.
apparently.
Like, hey, how about the pawn shop guy? He's like, what? Like, a leg? How do I spin this?
You said he was only like, was this like a regular leg too? Or did this guy have just, you made it, the way he sounds, the way you described him is he's just a head with arms and like a really shitty leg.
It was down to, it was down to knee.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he
Chumley?
had like 2 pogo.
Chumley, get in here. What in the hell is this, Chumley? It was a leg. She said it was a now or never deal. Chumley called the police. This is a stolen prosthetic.
She said it belonged to J. Edgar Hoover. But like, yeah, he had the 2 pogo sticks going on for legs, and then he had like the nub, like it was like to the elbow, and then like little kind of ET fingers sticking out, and then he had like a spatula going on the other one.
Yeah, he had. I remember the flipper hand.
Yeah, and I remember him. He hung out with this guy named Bones.
Yeah, I remember.
Bones,
yeah. Oh my
Bones
God.
weighed like 10 pounds, and he had a real long beard, and he would just talk about how he had a huge cock. And then Bones' job was he would go on like Skype and jerk off for people for money.
Nice.
Those guys were friends. Imagine having no arms and no legs, and your best friend has a cock bigger than all your limbs. That's gotta suck. I want to know if you could go to a pawn shop and just buy a leg.
Apparently.
No, they called them up. There's a VIN number, and you got it back. Like, it's illegal, I think.
Yeah.
It's illegal to pawn
Chumley,
someone's leg.
I know, Chumley.
Yeah,
I know
leg.
we got in trouble for this before because we can't sell people, but can we sell legs?
Oh, I hope someone tried to pawn a baby. Like,
Definitely.
This is Korean. Which side?
Because one of them, they ain't coming looking.
One makes great stew.
Do you think?
I bet you someone's definitely like not pawned a baby, but like been at like a hospital, like tried to give it up, and then they found out they could get no money for it. They were like very disappointed.
Like, how much for this baby?
Yeah, they're like, I don't want it. So like, what do I get? And they're like, no, it's yours. And they're just like, It just ruins their whole fucking, like, that was their plan, and they didn't research it or anything.
Do you think?
No, I like the idea that they're just like disgruntled.
Yeah.
Give me a minute.
Like, I thought I would have done something about this. Yeah,
They didn't research it or anything.
yeah. It has to have happened, right? They're like, so who's taking this? And you're like, it's yours. And they're like,
What the
I
fuck
thought
do you
people
Google?
would take this if I didn't want it. And they're like, not here. Have a
Babe,
good
I
I'm
I
Googling
hope the
baby
research was
returns.
asking all people with kids how much they got. You get for
Didn't we hear
yours
about like the tax season shit. Like, yeah. Like, I got $3
during COVID, like 500 a kid. Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Do you think Epstein's Island was like Pawn Stars? Like, you'd come back to people and be like, I lent you $6 million. And they'd be like, well, I don't have that. But what I do have here is a 14-year-old Korean girl. He was like, well, before I make any deals, I'm going to need to bring an expert. Is that okay with you? And the guy's like, yeah. He's like, all right, Bill Clinton, get in here. And I was like, I'm going to need to examine the goods.
$6 million for that? No way.
No way.
That was funny, Bobby. But if you were an open mic comic, because I went to an open mic for the first time in a while, you would go say something like, show me the Carfax on that child. And then they would do a fake, terrible Carfax bit. I saw 3 people do a Carfax bit in 20 minutes.
Where'd you go?
Stress Factory.
Oh, Dad.
Hertz rental car.
God. Yeah, that'll do it.
It was rough. And one of them was the host. I think Floyd's a good guy. But anyway.
No, if you didn't know, he's JB Smooth's brother, dude. I don't know if you knew that. I don't know
that
if
should be his name, not Think Floyd.
What?
Oh, his name should be JB Smooth's brother.
Yep.
Yeah, he is a nice guy.
He is a very nice guy. Like we were saying earlier about how you got insulted by that. He's a real awesome fellow.
Hello, Mr. Tumley. I'd like to sell this young lady into your pawn shop. I've seen on the news about sex slavery from Jeffrey Epstein, and it seems like a financial incentive. I've watched Pawn Stars a lot, and you seem to be the one to make the deal with the best. So, let's say 15,000.
Where are we starting? I did my research.
10's as low as I'll go. 15 for the Korean.
Just Pawn Stars.
That was a retarded guy trying to sell a girl into sex slavery because he was watching the news about it.
I didn't want you to say that. I didn't want you to say that because Dave does the greatest retarded impression, and I know he wants to do it.
Dave, please carry the bit.
You guys go retired people? I have a picture. I don't have. Listen, how much money can I get in my piggy bank if I give you my sister? What are we talking?
I like how they also like from the hood.
This many dollars.
And then it hits the
tilts with the impression.
it still has the AMC graphics and production though. It's like Dave's opening bid is $10. It seems a little low. Let's see what Chumley counters with. Best I can do is $5.
No, wait, no, that's the wrong way, Chumley. It's like $8.
Hey guys, I think I can talk him down.
Oh, speaking of retards, did you guys see Ben Ortiz on the news?
No.
What?
What did he do?
It seems like the old 7 pennies instead of $6 trick was pulled on Dave.
I think you can at least give me 8 pennies because that's more than 7.
Yeah, Ben was on the news because they're I said this in the last show. It doesn't matter, but like there was a woman got carjacked in the parking lot. He pushed his carts in.
Oh no shit!
One in Hamden. That's where he pushed his cart.
Dude.
So the ShopRite. So it was a big news story because she was like 74 and they did that. So he put on Facebook, I was on the news, channel 4 or 5. So I searched Ben Ortiz 4 or 5. I can't find it. I'm pretty sure most news stories put him on the cutting room floor. But one person did put him on there. And they're like, it's getting dangerous, even for the people that work there. And then Ben goes, it's getting crazy. I'm going to have to carry mace to work. On the news.
Yo, he crushes everywhere, dude. I love him.
Yeah, I seen that bitch. I seen that bitch, and that guy got her car. Yeah, I saw that bitch.
Yo, I was like, at least she has a car.
I mean, excuse me, miss, to be honest with you, she did not put her car back in the cart container, so I was kind of glad she got carjacked. Seemed like she had a bit of a bad personality.
I thought two of my voices.
Go ahead, Alex.
I thought 2 of the voices in my head were fighting, then I was like, oh, this is really happening.
Why would I help her? She's not a prostitute.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
Hey, Pat, I wrote a joke. Pat, I wrote a joke about life. I saw this bitch get carjacked. And I was like, I ain't got no car.
No,
Jack.
See, Dave, you don't know Ben's delivery. Ben would be like, yo, a lady got carjacked the other day. I'm too broke to get carjacked. I can't even get carjacked. Nobody would even take my car or call me Jack. Either way, I'm pushing carts. Nobody cart jacks.
Hey, yo, excuse me, David. You do not sell women into sex slavery. It is wrong. Okay? Pimps are a bad part of the game. And I think you got ripped off for 7 pennies instead of $8.
Yeah,
The greatest advice Ben Ortiz gave us when he was on the podcast was, and he was serious. He looked into my brother had messaged me and goes, "That's sage advice." He said, Ben goes, "Listen, when you do get a prostitute, you want, what was it? They have to come to you. Don't go to them. Because if you go to them, then they could be police and you could be arrested. But if they come to you, police can't do that, I think."
Which seems silly.
That's true, but yeah.
It seems silly.
That's awesome.
Not true.
But
I mean, that's solid.
literally that Friday, a rap group I like dropped a freestyle, and the last guy's whole verse was how he got jumped because some girl set him up on Instagram. And I was like, oh shit, that sounds like Ben Ortiz if he could rap or understand what a metaphor is.
But now he lives in a classy place, so he can't get hookers as much.
Oh, good for him.
I mean,
This
on
just
the episode
in.
he was on,
This just in, a hooker ring at an old folks home. What are your grandparents being subjected to? We'll show you tonight at the 10 o'clock news.
he never said it was an old folks home, but he definitely lives in an old folks home. Like when he described it,
Wait, what?
he lives, well, you know, like those senior assisted living
Yeah.
communities.
Convalescent, yeah.
That's where he lives.
How do you pull that off?
He's
Yeah.
fucked up. He's remember the crack baby thing earlier.
Are people with disabilities scamming the system to take advantage of your grandparents? Tune in at 9 p.m.
He's not taking advantage of anything. Ben's working very hard. I'm so proud of his sobriety. He was great when he was on the show. We could barely hear him, but every word that got out was sage advice.
Every now and again, like every couple of weeks, I get a message from Ben. His
wish it
goal
was
is to write
complete.
1,000 jokes, and he just has a running total. He just texts me a new number, 210.
You only get a
11.
couple weeks.
Yeah.
I said this in the last podcast, but you two will enjoy this. I found out about the Will Smith Chris Rock incident from a text at 5 a.m. from Ben Ortiz.
Wow.
Because I was asleep and my phone dinged, and because I'm a dad, I think it's my kids, like something bad's happening.
Hey,
And
Pat,
I answered-
why come when Will Smith slaps Chris Rock, nobody cares, but when I slap a hooker, people get angry?
Ben would never slap anyone. Dave, I think, was there at the time at Joker's Wild when he pissed off this giant black guy in the corner of the place, and Ben goes, "Boy, why are you getting up?" He goes, "I'm gonna kick your ass." And Ben goes, "I'm gonna run," and he ran away.
You'll remember that.
Oh, he ran off to the side, ran to the kitchen.
Christ. Sorry.
But he messaged me, and he just goes, I get a message that all it says is, where is it? "Good morning, Pat. What's your opinion about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock at Oscars for making fun of his wife's bald head?" Now, it's 5 a.m. I have no I didn't watch the Oscars. I was dead asleep. I don't know what this means. So I don't answer because it's fucking 5 a.m. and I was still sleeping. So I went about my day. At 9:52 p.m., I get a message that's just question marks. So I go, "Why are you sending me question marks?" And he goes, "Will Smith, Chris Rock fight. I'm awaiting your opinion." I was like, "It's silly. I don't care. I have no opinion." He goes, "Okay." That's it.
Good
But I
old
mean,
man.
he really did nail the synopsis of it. Like, that was beautiful, succinct.
He did break it down. So hard. Oh my God. He did. She's bald. That's it. What'd you think about this?
Yo, I don't want to, not every podcast is social media thing,
Right.
but I've never seen more people defend alopecia in the past few days. I shit you not. It is, dude, it's so crazy. Like,
Yeah.
the amount of, like, do you know what it's like? It's like, yo, no one, I had no
No.
idea shit
It's like
alopecia.
4
No one had
people
any
who have
fucking
it.
idea. It's insane. The degree to how much this instance is being like dissected is insane. It proves how little is actually going on in people's lives. And
Well,
Yo,
you know
Pat.
this is made up to stop us thinking about the Ukraine, right?
Yo, Pat.
and COVID, yeah, no, I know, but yeah.
Yo, Pat, I kissed a girl with
It's
alopecia. Should I be worried? Never mind. That was just her name, Pat. We are okay.
That was her father. Her name is Meg Pisha. Her father's Alopecia. I'm sorry.
I know what you're thinking too. They're Asian.
Yo, it's not my fault that Will Smith's husband, wife, got propecia. Did you
It's
know
bad.
that Will Smith's wife is an alpaca? I did not know. Yeah. By the way, alopecia kids, whatever that is, they have it better, worse than cancer kids.
Yeah, because everybody's asking them how long they've got. They just don't have any hair.
Now they're all being called Jada.
How long you been on chemo? I just have
Wish I had
alopecia.
cancer.
Oh God! Imagine you have that disease and everyone's left you alone, and now this happened. Oh my God! Now everyone's going in front of you and slapping someone else. Going, you okay with this?
Imagine you have alopecia and you're a kid and you can't wear bandanas because fucking cancer kids ruined it for the rest of us.
Yeah. Oh, because the only ones you can afford are the dollar store ones that are blue or red, and you're not allowed gang colors at school.
I just
He's
picture
got
them being
cancer. Oh, he's got cancer and he supports Ukraine. What a trooper.
or they just figure out like, wait, you don't have cancer, and it's like, no, it's alopecia. You fucking pussy! Like they just go the other.
Yeah. Oh
Yes.
no, I'd be like
Oh,
so
dude,
much
I
cancer,
see for
so much. Cancer.
David, I'm gonna get the ball rolling. I'm gonna need your help here. But
right.
yes, Mr. Chumley, I do have the cancer 14-year-old boy. I'd like to tell it to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, if you know what I mean.
I would like to purchase your 14-year-old boy with cancer.
The Fresh
much
Prince
would you
specialty.
I need to talk to my uncle Phil, to get the money. But I think I can get it because he's a judge, so he's loaded.
I'm not smart like my nerd cousin Carlton. Carlton's just a character who doesn't have Down syndrome in the show. That's why he's the nerd.
Carlton drives me to the store so I can get things.
He has alopecia, Carlton.
Alopecia, is that common? Well, it's not unusual.
Is it a genetic disease? I know about those.
All right.
Excuse me. I like to sell my extra chromosome. I don't need it, and I like to make some money.
Hey, Bobby, remember how this was not going to be the Patreon
Yeah,
one?
no, we threw that out the window real quick, didn't we?
No, it's still going to go out there. I want to ruin Dave's life. Dave used to be on a podcast where we would do terrible things, and once in a while I'd be like,
yeah.
hey, don't put that one out.
Yeah, I've had to throw a few away too. Believe me, I've definitely had to cut some things out.
I feel
me,
like
I-
of the two,
yeah,
I would be less worried about David. That's all I'm throwing out there.
Remember, Pat, how we had to change the name because we thought that's what was going to get us in trouble.
Yeah, we thought pedophiles was the problem. And the world out there was just you. Actually, the worst thing we had was Brandon.
Oh,
You
That's
and
what
I
I was
would say
saying. Yeah,
awful-
I think Brandon would have been the problem.
We were just doing retard bits, but at least, and just, and maybe, I still get message from people like, okay, I thought it was fucked up when you and Dave talked about how fun it would be to be an auctioneer during slavery, and then we're just saying if you were like an MC at a regular comedy show and you had to go up with that same energy. You might know him from the Amistad. Give it going for Mandingos.
I just feel like if more people had practiced tarot reading, slavery wouldn't have been a thing because it really puts people at peace and they'd understand the harm they were putting in the world.
Oh, the best argument that ever was is when Brandon was going off about how the Holocaust wasn't real. And he's like, same thing as the dinosaurs. And Dave, dead face, goes, don't you fucking dare.
I mean, I wasn't going to weigh in on the Holocaust because that's
Right,
like,
you big old
no one wants to hear my opinion on that, but the dinosaurs really hit me.
He was that one. The only time he got Dave and got him to turn over was the moon landing, where he's like, he had some fact. You're like, makes sense. Like nothing Brandon says makes sense.
I've actually deleted
I'm just
every
saying,
conversation
we've
had.
had magic for over 14,000 years and we haven't gotten to the moon with that yet. Now we're supposed to believe science gets us up there and that the world's round?
I can't talk to Brandon because I'm too gullible. I am interested. I'm like, oh yeah, no.
I talked to him because he gave up on communication in life. I get him on here once in a while. He came on and he read. He'll do the podcast to read tarot to Bobby and make Bobby scared because Bobby believes in God. So it's a weird combination of the dark arts and Bobby.
Bobby,
And then
don't take this the wrong way. You don't look like you believe in God at all, dude. Like not even.
You don't live like
Oh,
you believe in God.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair on both accounts. And you know what? The issue with both of you guys is you're too narrow-minded. You got to broaden your horizons. Have you heard about this guy named Owen Benjamin? You should listen to everything he says and just regurgitate it.
That's
Oh,
Brandon's
for
hero.
fuck's sake, yeah.
Brandon's part of that group, the Bears. They took that name back.
That's the character I'm doing.
Bobby, are you one of those gods in all of us, and he wants every experience? So I might as well go out and live the shit ones because I'm doing a favor for God.
No, I'm just like one of those people who's like, there's a lot of shit I can't explain, and the more we learn, the more it feels like people are just trying to find more excuses to call things other than God. It's like,
See,
we
I
might
get
live
by
in a
that.
simulation. It's like, that just seems like a funny way of saying there might be a God out there. You know what I mean? Like,
I prefer that.
I get
At least
by
you're
that.
not like I don't even know. I'm spiritual.
yeah, I just like,
I would,
there's so much fucking coincidence out there in the world that, like, call it what you want, but there's some force that's driving everything. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
Like, even if you break down the science of, like, this is how they electrocuted the amino acids that made, you know what I mean? Like, it's like all of that, such a percentage of a chance. That's my thoughts on the matter. I'm not trying to tell people to do what they, do what you believe, but that's my thoughts on it.
Bobby, I think this would be the perfect time to tell these two about that TV show you were working on.
Oh, buddy
Because it
Dave.
fits Dave's wheelhouse. Right
Yeah,
now,
this
so
is
it's
just,
Yeah,
good.
hit
And
me.
I'll do one story. We'll get out of here.
you're Mark McGuire in the steroid era, and I'm hanging a curveball for you.
Okay.
But there's a TV show I'm working on for Nickelodeon. Basically, after the hit success that was 15 or 19, where we took members of families and they had to guess if the provocative pictures were 15 or 19, they were like, "Hey, we want you to
Ruined a
do
lot of people.
we want you to do like a heavy dramedy on Nick at Night, Teen Nick." And this one's basically the premise is there was a guy, he's graduating high school. He is, yes, affected by Down syndrome, but he's a devout Catholic. And he goes to the priest after he graduates, and he does graduate because his mom's like super inspired. And let's be honest, it's not that hard to graduate high school in Alabama. And he goes to the priest, and he's like, "I'd like to enter the seminary now." And they're like, "No, you can't enter the seminary." And he's like, "Why not?" It says anything's possible through Jesus. Are you saying this isn't possible through Jesus? And they're like, "Well, you kind of backed us into a corner there." So they let him in, and the show's called Rev Tarded.
Rev Tarded.
what Rev tarded?
Yeah.
Rev Tarded.
It like this is just the raised Catholic thing. Are reverends Catholic?
No, they aren't. They
Okay.
really aren't. I'm also raised Catholic.
He's
but
retarded though, so there
it
you
doesn't
go.
matter.
We
Yeah.
call him whatever he
Bam.
wants.
I'm not
And,
100%. I'm not 100%.
Bobby, I pitched one episode where I think that right before Mass, he's in the back, he's double fisting jelly donuts because he's retarded, and that's what they do. And he's just sitting there, and he gets all excited, they call him out there. So when he comes out to talk to him, he goes like this, but all they see is the jelly stains on the hands, and they think it's stigmata.
And like the real driving home of each episode is that the retarded guy solves the problem between both the super religious people and the super not religious people because it's really not
so
that
wanna be a part
complicated.
of this show. Oh my god, I want to be a part of this show.
We may have to hit up Dan Brown and
Yeah.
actually write
Holy
this show.
shit.
We may have to write
Yes.
a pilot of this show.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's got to be one where like everyone thinks he's molesting kids, but just because he's retarded, he just
I'm
knows to like,
so-
have fun with them. And
I'm
there's so,
so
many.
glad you said that, Sully, because
Yeah.
literally that's the season 1 finale is that everyone in his class has been molesting kids. So he's the only one that hasn't been and is allowed to move on to the next year. Yeah.
Yo,
It was like when you were saying, I was like, holy shit.
And like the Cardinals like, wait a second. He humps everything. You're telling me he hasn't and they're like not
Okay,
one.
so, yeah. He's like, nah, that's wrong.
I'm a kid
Now,
bad.
that's retarded. That's what he should
That-
say.
Oh my god, his first baptism, everybody's a little nervous about him with the child dunking in the water. Like,
He's so
He's just really excited. It's so shocked.
He's like amazing at it. They're like,
A mice and men moment. Yeah.
The first episode is he actually attends a pro-life rally in Texas and solves the mob issue by like coming together and he's like, yes, on one hand I should have been aborted and I'm thankful that I'm not, so I get the whole pro-life thing. But on the other hand, if there is a God and he gives us challenges, aren't some of us meant to fail him? Shouldn't we allow that to happen and not be the ones who make the decision? It's really a tough call. Seems kind of like a personal rights issue, and then everybody like carries them out on the shoulders.
This is like
Oh my God.
like a South Park lesson at the end.
I
yeah,
love
like,
this show so much. Oh my God, yes.
All
Bobby,
right.
in that episode, at one point he turned as someone's protesting and they're holding a sign of aborted fetus. He goes, "Where'd you get my baby photo?"
you gotta get like Johnny Knoxville to produce it from the because he did the Ringer and shit. So got the hookup. There you
You
go.
need that good retarded money.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
At
I
one
just knew
scene,
Dave would be in.
he has to do a.
He's in the confessional. I'm sorry, what is that? What does that mean? I don't understand what you did.
I need you
Why
to
are you
use
in the
simpler
bathroom
terms.
with me? This is where I poop.
I switched out all the communion with candy. It's gonna be
Vanilla
candy from now.
wafers.
Yeah. It's like they had no taste. I want candy.
Got him stuck all over his
Oh god. Go to
checkerboard.
hell. I'm just gonna go to hell. There's just gonna be this video, and they're like, "That's it, right? There's no debate. Get in there." They're like, "Yeah, you're right. I don't know why the fuck."
First day he walks up and he gives Jesus a hug.
He
I don't understand. He's been asking for it the whole time.
there's an episode where he has to do like practitioner intervention where he has to solve a problem for people, and a guy comes in, he's like, "Man, it's just all this woke shit at work, Father. The issue is they keep telling me that like it's not biology, it's not science, and like I get you're a man of religion, you don't trust science. What should I do?" So he goes to the meeting and he's like, "All right, so you guys said DNA doesn't matter, right?" And they're like, "Yeah." He's like, "So I'm not retarded." "Yeah, it's what you feel on the inside. I'm not retarded." And they like have to back off. Lots of good things.
Everybody calls me father because I can't have kids of my own.
One of the other priests walks into the church, and there's the communion wafers in a row all the way down the aisle, leading to the back. He's like, "What is going on?" He goes, "I led them there so I can find my way back to the door."
Oh god, dude.
Oh, oh God. It's a show that
The power
Oh, God.
goes out one day, and he won't start mass until the power comes back on. And like people are coming back, like, "Father, you got to start mass." He's like, "It's scary. No."
it's too spooky. I don't know. I don't want to do this. No.
Oh, I think there's a monster in there.
So
Somebody
the
like
first day he's a priest there, obviously some of the older white people are like, "Wait, what?" Because that's in their community and mad. So like in those small churches, the choir's all old white people, so they all quit. So he goes, "I know someone in an entire retarded choir."
Oh boy.
But they can't perform because they can't fit their heads in the cloth things that they have to.
So he just brings in the Wu-Tang Clan, and they're like, "Wait, why?" And they're like, "Season ratings weren't great for season 2. We had to do something to bump the numbers." Introducing the RZA, the Jizza.
When they're collecting money, they pass around his helmet.
God in heaven.
We were gonna do stories, but I don't think we're gonna.
Oh,
Forgiveness is important. Like sometimes Father shits himself during the homily and has to leave, and the whole church will forgive him.
And Noah collected 2 of every animal, but the animals weren't like me. Or we wouldn't have animals.
and Noah collected 2 of every animal. My favorite animal is a tiger. I'm glad that he got 2 of them because if he only got 1, then we would only have the 1 tiger. And I love tiger.
I tried to collect squirrels once, and I forgot to put an air hole in the container, and my mom said that's why they don't sleep anymore, and...
And then season 2, they get another priest to come in, and he's got cancer. And then the retarded guy goes, "God damn it, now I'm gonna like him." Because cancer kids have it the best.
You're thinking, again, it could be, what if it's an autistic guy or somebody with Tourette's? And he's like, "Why does he get to yell when you tell me be quiet?" They're like, "Well, he's disabled." He's like, "I'm disabled. I don't get to yell."
Oh my God, he does faith healings. And the first time it works, he's like, "Oh, son of a bitch."
I actually have the power. I actually have the power.
Are miracles real? You should have seen me before.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I think this one might be the Patreon one. We might be putting one to Frank
Yeah,
out.
you definitely did.
Oh fuck! We're not gonna get canceled. We're gonna get shot, which is more impressive.
He's just
They're
there.
not
He's
allowed to
not
buy
in his.
guns.
He's not in his priest outfit yet. He's just hanging out in his coat, getting ready to go in. Some of the people haven't met the new priest yet. And they're talking. They're like, "Did you hear about him? Oh my god, I heard he's different." And he turns and goes, "Don't worry, I'm not black." Now it's Patreon.
The tagline of the show is, not only does he talk to God, he's been touched by God.
Touched by God should be the new title.
Yeah.
If you
Touched by
can't go
God.
red
There
card,
you go. Yeah, touched by
Touched
God.
God had other plans.
special intentions.
Special service.
Eh.
Whatever, I don't know.
Tarred angel.
Oh,
Yeah, dude.
heaven can be a real dick sometimes.
There better be a ramp leading to that gate.
Oh,
Some people ask me, why do you want to be a priest? I say, who better to really throw the strength of believing in God, right? Like, who else should not believe in God but me?
if you ever thought God didn't have a sense of humor, well, we have a show for you.
Yeah, who else can show the strength of believing in God? Like, what are you gonna bring to the table? Oh, I had my car broke down and I had to walk in the lane. Oh, that sounds real hard. That sounds real tough. You had a difficult day. I'm so sorry for you.
The state doesn't allow me to live by myself. So, good luck with your tow car.
Just trying to figure out a way. Oh, fuck.
Oh, I hope he has a hard stance on gays.
That's the one. It's one thing he doesn't break on.
Yuck! Yuck!
Yeah.
That's buttholes.
Oh, man.
You know what? On that note, Alex, where can people follow you?
Oh, hang on. If this is the Patreon episode, because I got one more bit we can do.
It's
That.
definitely not. We're putting this out there.
Oh, never
Oh
mind. then.
fuck!
Whatever you want to do, man. All right.
Bobby, go for
I'm
it.
just
Do
kidding.
it. What would this? Unless you say the N word, what are you gonna do?
Well, let's test those limits. I came up with a really fun prank, right?
Oh, do you? Wait, real quick. I'm sorry. Someone goes, "You can't say the N word." He goes, "Strawberries." He's returned. Anyway, go ahead.
The Nicaean Creed? I mean, yeah, it's confusing, but they have the notes right in the fucking booklet. I think a great prank would be, right, take one of your friends, make a fake Instagram account for him, and hit on one of these obviously entrapment 14-year-olds, right? Like, hit on them a bunch to the point where that 14-year-old invites you to meet up, and then tell your friend they have a babysitting job interview. And so they just walk in, and the guy's like, hey, why don't you take a seat? Are you here for the kid? And he's like, yeah, as a matter of fact, I am. I'm actually pretty experienced in this field. I brought my resume.
You
Dude,
must
that
be the
seems
father.
safe
Oh.
compared to what we just did. That was perfect timing.
Thanks.
We're all like,
really mellowed
you, it's
everything
just
out.
pedophiles.
Yeah,
I was like, let me get
thank
something.
God.
I mean,
Oh.
the reason why this is not going on Patreon, because I know it makes Frank real mad when we put his episode on Patreon. I want to be like, wait, this is the one they let everybody see. And then Frank's weird opinion on Will Smith didn't get out there.
I had to hear that.
Good. Alex, where can people follow you?
You guys can follow me on Instagram at Silly Selly. All the lowercase. What is it? Wait. S
Not woke.
No, not at all.
Anyway,
No.
Very good shit. Dave.
I'm not sure I want people following me after this, but you can find me Facebook, Dave Hintz Comedy.
Wait, if you need any voiceover.
I honestly, one of my goals is to learn Spanish so I can do that voice and speak Spanish. Just because I think it'd be
retarded
fun.
Spanish? I forgot those were things.
I just still want it.
I always thought retarded was just white people, and then I met one that wasn't. I was like, what, you too? I thought that was just us. Bobby?
Yeah, the Davy Mac Sports program is back. Check it out on Eastside Dave's YouTube. Check out our Patreon. We're doing a lot of fun stuff here. We shouted out some people on the Patreon episode that have been doing big things for us, but we are growing. We're putting out good episodes. The How Could You Forget March Madness will be up out in Compound Media. It's a lot of fun. It's probably the most fun one we did. If you enjoy that game show type thing, check it out. It's a lot of fun. And I will be hitting up Pat to annoy Dan Brown to animate the show that Dave and I are going to voice. So that is where you can find us next.
Well, I'll shout out Dan Brown. But Dan Brown's been doing amazing animation for Vinny Brand at the Stress Factory. If you haven't seen those things, they've been awesome. No, but like Dan's been doing that stuff for them. Vinny Brand's been putting out his own things, and Dan is the one animating that. So check that out. Dan actually wants to start doing a thing where when Dan and I drive to shows, our conversations are David knows in the car with me. They get weird. He wants to start animating those car rides.
That's a great idea.
The conversation would be fun. He would be on board to do the retarded drawing in a second. So that would be great.
Oh,
go ahead,
Pat. I forgot one thing. Are you plugging or can I have
you
one
go?
more?
You do whatever you want to do, sir.
Sorry, I have a show in Enfield at Powder Hollow Brewery, April 15th. It's a Friday night. Yeah, with Lemaire Lee from Chain's Secret Podcast. So if anyone's
from Panties in the Mouth,
let's show Panties in the Mouth podcast, please come out to that show. I'm trying to, sell that one out. So please come.
Let me say this: if you hated everything in this show, you will enjoy Lemaire. If you loved every second of this show, you will love Lemaire. If you don't speak a word of English, you will love Lemaire. He is just a charismatic, giggly fella.
Funny fucking dude.
If you live in Western Mass, you live anywhere near Hartford, fucking make the drive. That's that guy is, and everyone else is on the show. So I don't line up. You guys are all fucking funny as fuck. But Lemaire is definitely worth seeing. Actually, Shaquana's the only one I haven't seen before, but you don't book bad shows, so I'm sure your shows are going to be great. Everyone else going to be good, but Lemaire is fucking killer. You loved him on here, you're going to love him at a show. So go watch him. So yeah, I forgot about that. But I wanted you to plug that because he's fucking great. And he's been a guest on here before. He's awesome, and Bobby's known him forever. So follow us on YouTube, Patreon, all that fun shit. Besides that, guys, thank you much for being on here. And Bobby,
if you can't join him, beat him, and don't be a piece of shit.